Hi, I'm Adam Lane Smith, an attachment specialist, and today I want to talk to you about why marijuana is addictive. That's right, I'm going to be that loser narc who's going to ruin it for you. I want to talk to you about why it's actually addictive and how you can move past that because there's certain ways that it can be really harmful to your life. Actually, I want to talk to you about why everything can be addictive in the same way that marijuana is addictive. I'm not going to dive into the same old crap that you've heard over and over and over, but I do want to talk to you about how coping skills work, especially. So today, we're going to ruin pot. First of all, I don't believe that marijuana is the greatest evil our society has ever faced. I've worked with thousands and thousands of clients who use marijuana on a semi-ongoing basis. Many of them live successful lives and they manage themselves just perfect. It's a lot like alcohol. If it's used in certain ways, certainly appropriately, especially with cancer victims and medical pieces, there are wonderful uses for it. I don't personally smoke it myself. Let me just put that on camera. But it can be useful in certain circumstances. When it's not useful is when it's overused, and especially when it's used, just like alcohol, in a way that is damaging. The biggest problem I see with marijuana, as in all my years as a licensed therapist and treating people in correctional facilities, yes, where they could still get pot, and treating people in-home treatments where they were disabled due to mental illness and couldn't get out, in some of those mental illnesses, including addictions, working in a clinical setting, working with homeless individuals, working with, again, addicts, functional addicts, some people in high-level performance jobs, some millionaire entrepreneurs, trust fund families. I've worked with a wide selection of people, and marijuana use fell into the same category as alcohol use and video game addiction. When it's used appropriately and a little bit here and there, it doesn't tend to cause problems. It's, how do I want to say? A friend that I knew once told me, alcohol is legal, but marijuana is not. But nobody ever smokes marijuana and then goes and beats somebody to death. It just doesn't usually happen. What they're going to do is destroy their refrigerator. That's more likely the case. Alcohol, much higher violent incident rate. I've read some studies that suggest that 90% of sexual assaults occur with one or other party member imbibing a lot of alcohol. Alcohol tends to be present with a lot of sexual assault pieces. And that's unfortunate. Marijuana, I don't know about the numbers on that one, but I would bet it's probably not as high as alcohol. Possibly because it's just not as plentiful and available to the same level at your corner store. At least not in most states. The biggest problem with marijuana that I have really seen, the biggest problem is this. You use it, many people use it, when they should be doing something else. When they should be managing their stress, when they should be out there confronting their fears, when they should be building in better associations with problems in their brain. Just like alcohol. You're stressed out, so you drink a couple of beers. It instantly works because substances work faster than other coping skills often. It's easier to pop open a beer or light up a joint than it is to go hit your workout bench and start pumping iron. It takes less energy, less focus, and less difficulty. And pumping iron on the bench may not give you the dopamine release that pounding a beer or 5 beers or 10 beers. I know some people who were maybe 130 pounds and pound 24 beers, almost death. Marijuana, same thing. They start pounding as many, as how do I want to phrase this delicately? They take so many, so many hits in a row that they look like a cloud themselves. Every day. And that's their stress management. What happens is your brain starts rewiring to say, this is easier. It takes less energy. I get dopamine because as you build positive associations, you get dopamine releases when you like it. You say, oh, I smoked it. Instant dopamine feeling. Plus, then you get the other feelings. So you started artificially pumping your dopamine button. Just like video game addiction, just like porn addiction. You start pounding that dopamine button because your brain really likes it and says, it's going to feel good. Anticipatory dopamine. Why would you use anything else? Why would your brain want to use anything else that's less effective? Your brain says, no, let's just let's smoke every single day. And let's smoke 3 times a day. Let's smoke before work. Let's go to work stoned. Let's sit with our family stoned at family dinner. Let's smoke on holidays so that we're stoned out of our mind. Let's smoke every day so we are always relaxed. Your brain will start to want to do that. It will want it more. if you are not intentionally building coping skills, if you're not intentionally using that to make yourself go do those pieces. Now, can you, if you're experiencing severe anxiety about an event, can you smoke a small amount and then go do that event and have your brain rewire your associations? Well, quite possibly. Quite possibly. That would be responsible, hopefully, as long as you're driving carefully and managing properly. That could be a responsible piece to just take the edge slightly off. That could be. There are also other coping skills you could use instead that are free. There's all kinds of pieces. Marijuana, the reason it's addictive, again, is the same reason that pornography can be addictive, the same reason video games can be addictive. The biggest piece, mentally, is that it replaces everything else you should be doing. It eventually replaces everything else you should be doing. That's the piece that most people are missing. The problem is not the marijuana, it's your brain's connection to it and building ongoing, constant associations that says, this is better than anything else. I will just reach for this when I'm stressed. And then what happens is you stop practicing all your other coping skills and all your other, even pre-stress coping skills, and you just turn everything over to marijuana. So then your stress levels actually go up because they're only managed by the marijuana. So then you aren't even doing anything in advance. Then you're smoking in advance. Then you're smoking all the time. Your pain threshold, your emotional pain threshold goes down. So you start experiencing more emotional pain than you were before, and you feel it worse. That's the real danger. That's the psychological danger with marijuana, is it takes over because your brain likes it so much. So if you smoke marijuana, I'm not here to tell you to stop. What I am here to do is tell you to manage that damage, manage that issue. Start intentionally building more coping skills into your day. Build a good workout routine. Have the confrontations you need to have. Don't just smoke every time you think about them. Have the confrontations. Build a better life. Get a better job. Whatever you need to do, fix the other problems in your life, or your marijuana use will just continue to escalate until you are just a smoked out pothead. That's not a good way to be. That's why that happens. That's a big piece of why that happens, is people are managing their ongoing stress, which increases as they continue to manage it with substances instead of intentional living. It's a lot like alcohol in that way. Alcohol has other components to it, but it is a lot like alcohol in that way. It's the same way that porn addiction constantly hits and you can't stop. And then when you try, your stress levels start going up for a while. It's the same reason video game addiction is there. It's an easy dopamine pound that makes you feel better faster than anything else. Sugar's the same way, by the way. Sugar's the same way. So if you say you never use drugs, but you eat a lot of sugar, you drink a lot of sugary drinks, you're doing the same problem. You're pounding the sugar, you're pounding the cookies, you're pounding the sodas to try to manage your stress, which makes your stress going to get worse. Sugar might even be worse than marijuana because it leads you on so many ups and downs with your blood sugar that you're going to start crashing. You're going to start dopamine crashing. You're going to be craving more dopamine. A lot of times, porn addiction and sugar addiction go hand in hand because you're constantly dopamine crashing. All of this is why marijuana is potentially harmful to people who have anxiety. So manage that. I have other videos on this channel. Top 5 ways to manage different stressors. Top 5 ways to stop doing the things that are stressing you out and add these 5 pieces that work instead. There's all kinds of pieces. My message is not to never smoke pot again. My message is to make sure if you are going to smoke pot, do it like a responsible adult and don't let yourself collapse into it, because it can be easy to do that. That's my message. Thank you for watching. If this has been helpful, and if you don't want to burn me at the stake for threatening marijuana, please like, comment, and subscribe on the channel, or like, comment, and leave a comment that says, hey, you're full of crap, narc. Tell me that too. That's fine. That's what I got for you today. Thank you for listening. I'm Adam Lane Smith. Until next time.